I'm Debbie and I'm a social prescriber in Rossendale East. Today I would like to share a case study with you to demonstrate some of the work we do over in the Rossendale area. For the purpose of this case study, the lady will be referred to as Mrs A and her daughter will be referred to as Miss X. So Mrs A came through as an emergency referral. It was explained to me that she was an 82-year-old lady who lives with her daughter. Her daughter had been rushed into hospital that morning, leaving Mrs A in a state of shock and worry. Miss X, the daughter, had been the one who paid the utility bills, completed the shopping and had done all the other daily living chores for herself and her mum. Knowing that her daughter would have normally gone to the post office that day to pay the weekly bills and return home with a food shop, Mrs A presented herself at her neighbour's home in a state of confusion. Her GP was contacted and the referral was sent through to me as a social prescriber. A phone consultation took place with Mrs A. She presented very confused and anxious and was upset and tearful throughout the call. She was unable to explain to me what bills needed paying, if she had enough food to make herself a meal or whatever else she needed to do that day. She repeatedly informed me that she was afraid and she was unsure what she needed to do. She also informed me that her daughter's handbag with all the payment cards and money had also been taken to the hospital with her. It was agreed that a home visit was what was needed and I agreed to go that day. I spent over 2 hours with Mrs A. Phone calls were made to Rossendale Borough Council for information on how to pay her housing benefit and council tax. Phone calls were made to the gas and electricity supplier to order new payment keys and to ensure that she had enough energy to last until those payment keys arrived at her home. I also ordered replacement cards for her TV and water. A simple list of instructions was written for Mrs A to follow on how to pay her bills. Further instructions were written on how to charge her mobile phone and to use some of the electrical appliances within her home, including how to top up her gas and electricity. It was also agreed that Wiltshire Farm Foods would be contacted to supply her with some ready-made meals that she just needed to warm. She felt that she could prepare herself a snack with the food that was in the home. Mrs A felt that she could contact the local post office once her bills had arrived and she was able to pay them herself. With consent, I phoned her local post office and inquired if extra support could be given to her when she called in. This was agreed. The staff were absolutely wonderful and informed me that they knew of her and that they would take good care of her as of when she needed it. Daily phone calls continued for the following 4 days after that home visit, and a further 2 home visits took place. Weekly contact has continued, and Mrs A is still accessing support from the social prescribing link workers. She does phone me in between the agreed dates if she feels that she needs further help. Mrs A described me, bless her, as an angel from above who came to rescue her that day. That's all part of the social prescribing link workers and what they can offer within the Rossendale community.